Norman and his defense team have been clear. The Prime Minister and his office tried to interfere in the case against the Vice Admiral, both prior to the charges being laid and during the proceedings. In fact, Marie Heinen said this. She said, "You don't put your finger and try to weigh in on the scales of justice. That is not what should be happening." She was talking about these Liberals. So, Mr. Speaker, just exactly why did the Prime Minister try to weigh in on the scales of justice and interfere in the Vice Admiral's court case?
Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth. As we have said a number of times on this side of the House, we have full faith in our institutions in Canada. The charges in question were laid by the prosecution service, by the Director of Public Prosecutions. The process was managed by the Prosecution Service of Canada, and the stay was decided by the Prosecution Service in Canada. The evidence was gathered by the RCMP, Mr. Speaker, and was turned over to the Prosecution Service of Canada. Mr. Speaker, the Director of Public Prosecutions, as well as the prosecutor in this case, have both stated that there was no government interference or contact.
That's right.
Honourable Opposition House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are not questioning the independence of the public prosecutor. We know that the decision to stay the trial was theirs, but as Norman's lawyer said very directly, the decision to stay the charges was made independently despite the attempts of the Liberals to interfere. Not because of, but despite their attempts. So, Mr. Speaker, here we are, 5 days later, still no answers from the Prime Minister. Will he get up today and answer this question, or will he appear before the Defence Committee, start answering some questions on this?
The Honourable